And I think there may have been a problem there with the live stream. There's not been a problem with cricket, though, as Prem swings it out to deep square leg for a single. So we have had 1.1 this over, and we're up to 49. Yep. And another shot out to deep square leg for 1 from Nick. That brings up the 50 for Metro. We are in the 10th over. And we have 2 balls to come. Very wide, swung down towards fine leg. Nearly bounced over Danfield's head, but he leapt up and stopped it. Restricted Prem to just 1 run. And so, last ball of the over, that's just horribly wide. And then another reverse by Nick, very fine. Is it going to run away to the boundary? It is. That was very, very fine. And it goes for 4. That brings the score to 56. So Metro have scored 9 runs and over off each of the last 3 overs. And Daniels to bowl a 3rd consecutive over. A lot of shout, but turned down by the umpires as Prem is prodding forward defensively, not really trying to hit the ball very hard at all. Next ball comes in, defended down, bobbles past Ian Morris, who is backed up by the fielder behind him, and again there's no run. So I do hope the live feed is back up and working again now. That has been driven out by Prem. They think about a second, they take a long time to decide, and that made it much harder to get those 2 runs. If they'd gone quickly, there were always 2 there, but there's a lot of hesitation. Nick, in the end, had to scurry to get back to be safe at the bowler's end. That is a no ball that has gone flying past.
No ball and a bye.
But, so Nick Epic now on strike. That is very wide, almost hit Tiny. We can hear him up here saying it almost hit him. So the message certainly coming through nice and clear, but that was a very wide delivery. Daniels sets himself again. Nick swings it away square. That has easily reached that long boundary out there at deep wicket. So 4 more for Nick, who's now reached 27 of 24 deliveries. So that's starting to accelerate a little bit. Prem Sarathri is 11 off 18. Yes, so wider for leg side here in the to decide to turn, but does so. So 2 more to Nikebek. We've now reached the last ball of the over, provided it's a legal delivery. The score has moved on to 67. That is a dot just down the leg side to end the over straight through to the wicket keeper, and we are at 67 to 2. So 11 off that over. Ian Morris to continue from this end. So Sussex getting through their totally blind bowler overs quite quickly. This will be the 6th, so they will only need to bowl 3 more in the later stages. Prem reaches for that, jogs down towards, obviously can't take another run as the throw from Simon Ledwith at point hit his bat as he slid himself in at the bowler's end. So Nick on strike, straight, thumped, 1 bounce into the boundary stand. But 4 to Nikebek takes the total to 72. So fielders now redistributing themselves. Downfield has gone back very deep on that square leg boundary. And this is hit much straighter by Nick. And Prem comes very quickly back as Chris Bailey sort of knocked the ball square. It didn't gather it cleanly. And with Prem being very alert, they were able to come back for 2 as it was tied up at this end. That's very leg side, and Nick has managed to split the 2 fielders. It's gone behind Danfield. No way he could have gone round to collect that. The ball was hit very firmly. And that is a 50 partnership between Nick and Prem. It's come off 31 balls. Nick's contributed 27 and Prem 12. So 11 off this over so far, 2 balls to come. Just outside off stump, hoiked round towards cow corner. It's fielded by Phil Daniels. It's another 1 to Nick. and Prem will face the last ball of this over. The score is 79 for 2, and we're just about to finish the 12th over. Long way outside off stump. Well, it might almost have been a wide. Scuffed by Prem, nowhere. Fielded by the athletic Simon Ledwith, running round from point to backward point to end the over. That is 79-12 off that over.
Dave Daniels again.
We are still continuing with the totally blind bowlers. Dave Daniels staying on. In the field, well spread 5 now on the leg side, just nudged backwards of square by Nick, very gently, went really nowhere to the backward square leg downfield. He positioned himself deep, had to jog in from the boundary to field. And 1 run to the total. Down there, that's the Hugh Spence ends of the ground, lining himself up. Bowls now wideish of the off stump, signalled wide. Simon very clear with the call of mine as he comes in to gather the ball. It's back now with the bowler. Keeper calling him through. That goes leg side, straight through to Matt Greenhoff, and no run. Congratulatory words from the fielders. Penn's just walked away a little. He's coming back to his position now, ready to receive the ball. Dave Daniels is down at the far end, ready to bowl. A couple of shuffle paces, comes in, bowls just outside the off stump, and there was a chance of a run out there with a direct. I think that's Marcus Kipling fielding there at extra cover. In fact, he threw the ball too far. Downfield had to tidy up. And Prem's taken 2. So Dave Daniels, leg side clipped just backward a square. Downfield comes in from his boundary, riding position to field. We take a single. So a bit rather better over for Sussex this one, just 5 off it so far. 2 balls to come, but Nick Herbeck is back on strike, and that's all the way behind his legs for a wide. Ball back with the bowler, and same result as the last time, but very wide, but signalled as a no ball. Yes, again, just steered short square leg. Downfield had been walking in off the the boundary, ready to collect the ball. Was easily able to do that, but a very safe single and 2 runs. The live feed perhaps now must be working because there's at least 2 people following it, so that's good. Prem gets it down to my leg, and it's fielded there by Alex Towers, who underarms it into the wicketkeeper. It's a single to end the over, and well, if I was a bingo caller, I think I'd like this score at the end of the over. Is that right, Steve? It's 2 fat ladies, says Steve. Indeed, 88.
Very sexist of you.
Well, I was just following the lead of my colleague, and it's not great, but it's bingo tradition, surely, isn't it? So I think it's fine to have bingo tradition. Ian Morris continuing. So Sussex perhaps with a plan to bowl out all of their totally blind overs. That's just gently steered by Prem into the leg side and wide of mid-on, and Phil Daniels came in to field, and there's just a single. Outside off stump, dab down to.
Well, you can't run.
Dab down to Simon Ledwith at point. He breaks the stumps with his return throw, so no run can be taken. They hesitated. They didn't go for the run. It was a very wise decision not to go for the run, because I'm sure Prem would have been run out. Nick did get back in time. They then thought about a run, but with the stumps having been broken in blind cricket, the ball is dead and a run cannot be taken. So Nick to face again. This is a little bit leg side. He's got that fine down to. Got to it, knocked it back down. Simon Ledwith's come across to give him a hand, and they've restricted that to 2 runs to Nick. And that's very fine. I'm not quite sure who it is down there. Perhaps that's Alex Towers. He's slightly taller than Dan Field. If it had been Dan, it might have bounced over him. It was very loopy. This is far too wide off the leg side. On the leg side, it's hit Dave Daniels, so it's clearly a wide delivery. In the blind cricket game, there are fielder exclusion zones that prevents the totally blind players being too close to the batsman, so he has got a chance of being able to play shots. But if the ball is too close to them, it is called as a danger wide, so that people can't be hurt by being hit by bats. Meanwhile, Nick has played that gently just behind square out onto the leg side. Dan Field's running from the boundary to field. They've taken 1, and Prem is back on strike. That's very straight on his leg side. It's down to Dave Daniels, and he can't quite grasp it on one bounce. It was definitely a chance. I think he possibly could have grabbed onto, but he couldn't quite hang on to the ball. A little bit of concern here, was there, for the umpire, for the batsman? He's just that the umpire, Roger Barker, has just come in and had a word with Prem. He's now walking back out to his position at square leg. Tiny is delivering what should be the last ball of this over. Outside, it's skied up into the air. It's dropping safe between the fielders, Dan Field is across very, very quickly to grab it and restrict that to just one as it went aerial and dropped into no man's from it. Daniels to bowl again. This would be halfway. This would be at the end of this over. We'll be halfway through the innings, and it's possible that Sussex will have bowled all of the. Well, it's certain actually that Sussex will have bowled all of the overs they need to bowl from totally blind bowlers, so they will be able to use partial bowlers for the final 15 overs of the innings. Prem just defends that down into the offside. Marcus Kipling comes into field and there's no run. This is wide, the leg side, but it's been signalled as a no ball anyway. That is another no ball, but this time delivered very wide on the off side. Five deliveries left in the first half of this first innings. Metro need 4 to reach 100. The score currently 96. But that's a great delivery. Behind Prem's legs down the leg side through to the keeper. No run. 96 for 2. Prem is on 18. Nick is on 45. And we're up to 3 people having discovered this, so that's good. It's just dabbed down gently by Prem, fielded by Mark Oliphant, and no run. Once down call to line bowler up. Just think off the bat, straight to Ian Morris, and so no run. So we might just be 2 balls away from drinks. As Dave Daniels lines himself up. It's a no ball. Prem has thumped it down the ground. They're thinking of 2. They are taking 2 to long off as Chris Bailey fields. And 2 off a no ball brings us to 99. Still 2 balls left in the over, so Metro may reach the 100 before the expected drinks break at 15 overs. It's just tickled down fine to fine leg. It's not seen very early by the fielder, but once he has seen it, Alex Towers runs in quickly, fields the ball, but 1 is taken. That's the 100 up. You can hear the applause from the Metro players gathered just outside the boundary in front of us here at the scorebox end of the ground. So Dave Daniels, last ball from that Hugh Spence end potentially. It's beautifully spinning away from Nick outside his off stump. It's a dot ball That's the end of the over. There were 6 runs from it. And that indeed is drinks. I hope that we've got a much connected live now with people. I am just going to check with my stooge, who should be checking the live feed to see if it is now working or not. So you will, I'm afraid, have to listen to the phone call as Sussex come off to take their drinks. Rory and Damien go out onto the field with drinks for the batters. A little bit of a tactical discussion. But 100 for 2, so we could be on for another score that gets us into the programme with the top scores in cup matches. The lowest score currently that reaches into that highest team totals is 195. Metro against Warwickshire in 2008. Other top scores are all above 200. So well, if you are managing to listen to this live stream, it would be great if you were able to join in the chat. Let us know that you're there. You can see that there are 2 people attached now, so I hope I've got this working. And so maybe it's time just to kind of check in on what we think has gone on in the first half of this game. Metro's certainly looking as if they're going to score more and do rather better than the last time these 2 sides met in the cup final, when Metro, that was in 2018 in Beckenham, when Metro were dismissed for 126, and it was chased down pretty comfortably by Sussex in just over 20 overs. Metro, I think, from this position would certainly feel that they'd like to get more than 126, with a couple of pretty well set batsmen now. Prem's faced 35 balls for his 21. Nick's faced 37 for his 45. Damien was run out for just that single boundary 4, and Andy Law scored 8. We've got 22 extras, 13 wides, 7 no balls, and 2 byes. I hope that's all right. Steve's not shouting at me and telling me that it's all terribly wrong, so I'm hoping that I've managed to keep up reasonably well, while trying to keep you informed, as well as run the scorebook. So the fielding side back out now. Wicket keeper and close in fielders down at that Hugh Spence end of the ground. Because we're going to be bowling from this end, the pavilion end, when we restart, we're expecting there's going to be a change of bowler, and that Ian Morris will be replaced, as we've had the required 9 overs to be bowled by totally blind players that are required. And so, as I say,
22 extras.
yes, I did say 22 extras, yes. So hopefully we've got to 100 in exactly the same fashion.
Yeah.
Quite sure what's happening there. Batsman still seeing another one. Nick's certainly still drinking away.
Stuart Broad is complaining about the shape of the ball.
I've just been told that Stuart Broad has been complaining about the shape of the ball, and I think you all know the Dukes have been not very good this year. Well, I can certainly tell you that for blind cricket, the balls for this year have just been described as largely useless, I think. So we are today, and for other key cup competitions this year, playing the matches with last year's ball, which is a genuine size 3 football with ball bearings inside to give it some noise and some weight. The ball this year has blown up a little larger, making it very, very difficult to grasp in your hands as just over a size 3, and also sort of a bit skinnier and lighter and not really wanting to do the job at all.
Towers.
So it's Alex Towers to have a bowl from the pavilion end as we make a start after drinks. Metro neatly on that 100. They've lost 2 wickets, and it's going to be Alex Towers to Prem Saratri. Outside off stump, played back down the wicket, fielded by Alex off his own bowling, and there's no run. Next ball, a little bit more leg side, defended by Prem into the leg side. Didn't go anywhere at all though. Alex was again able to just jog up from his bowling position, collect the ball, take it back. He's sort of slightly odd action, slightly crouched over as he prepares to bowl, and Prem swings that away to deep square leg. Downfield's got himself positioned out there now to guard that boundary. So it's just a single. And they go back on strike, and it's coming round the wicket to him. Prodded down into the offside to Ian Morris. Sussex all seem to think that it's a wicket. Mo Ghalib's already walking out, and he's had to walk back because it's just a dot ball. So ball must have scuffed the ground a couple of times before Tiny had it in those minuscule hands of his. I mean, how he would manage with an oversized size 3, nobody knows. You see him stand next to Damien Corrigan, and you know why he's called Tiny. He just doesn't look very big at all. This is steered out into the offside. Callum Weir runs in energetically to field. And Alex is now in the last ball, outside off stump, hit back firmly to him by Prem. Very firmly back up bowler, blocked it well. Kipping tied it up, just 2 off the over. So 102. 2 off 16. And
Downfield.
it seems like the skipper's bringing himself on from Hugh Spett's end of the ground. Nice line outside off stump. Batsman, no connection, straight through to Matt Greenhoff. This one just behind his legs, again through to the keeper, no run. A no ball. Out into the leg side, fielded by the bowler himself. Hit straight back over the bowler's head, and they are through for a single as Marcus Kipling comes across to field. Prem locks it back down, again fielded by Dan off his own bowling, and no run. Just sort of stabbed into the leg side. The wicketkeeper has to run out and field that one. So it's a single Prem. Rico back on strike. He just defends that down. That definitely has bounced twice before reaching Ian Morris. It's stopped to end the over. 3 off that one. And the score moves on to 105. Batsman just having a little conference in the middle of the pitch. Alex Towers ready at this end to bowl. Welcome to listener number 3. It's very good to have you along. Well, I hope any of you that are listening are able to pass on the link to anybody else who wants to join in. Apologies if it's been difficult to get it right. That's a great line outside off stump. A swing from Prem and a miss through to Matt Greenhoff. No, Greenhoff. I will try and pronounce the name right. I'm getting the names right. I think the pronunciation would be a bonus.
He's doing very well.
On the off stump, hit firmly back. The bowler dives down to his right to field, and there's no run. Alex is round the wicket to Prem as well this over. This is a little more on the leg side. It's to mid-on. The batsmen almost run into each other. I think if Alex had hit the stumps as he fielded that himself, he may well have run Prem out, but took a shy and missed. So one more to the total. Brings Nicker back onto strike for the second half of the over. That's very wide. I think, yes, it's being signalled as a wide. I couldn't quite see whether the umpire had one arm, both arms out as he stood at this end signalling, and we're so high up here that unless you call really loudly, as some people have been doing, bats and ready, we have been able to hear some of that, but on Nick's legs, swung away, leg side really hard, straight in to Dave Daniels' shins, and that means there's no run. but that ball was travelling pretty fast. Danfield might have been busy on the boundary, and change of action again from the bowler as he sort of bends forward as his preparation. Up, he's bowling over the wicket. It's outside off stump. Umpire has a sort of bit of a look, and it's wide-ish, but not wide. Oh,
Never.
but it is a no ball. That is a great delivery. Right on the stumps, batsman can do no more than defend it down to the bowler. No run. This should be the last ball of the over. It's a little bit leg side. It's just steered just behind the two totally blind fielders. Dave Field, sorry, had to run in. Danfield had to run in quite a long way from the boundary to field, and they do manage to get through for 2. So 5 off the over. The score is 110. And Nick Ebeck has moved on to 49 off 48. As Danfield comes in again with Ben Wilson building in the background, bowling from that Hugh Spence end of the ground. He comes in, bowls, and gets a little bit of bat on it. Prods it down into the leg side. Matt Greenhoff, the wicketkeeper, fields. The ball's back now with Danfield. Outside, off stump. Nice shot to mid-off where it's fielded by Marcus Kipling. No run, and the ball is quickly back to the bowler. In again, skied leg side. It's bouncing short of Callum Weir, who sprints in to field the ball. No real chance. It went quite high, but nowhere near the fielder.
111 feet off the ground.
And I'm told feet off the ground, 111. As Quebec just defends one down that's again fielded by the wicketkeeper. No run. It's much easier to keep your feet off the ground when you're sitting on a chair, I must admit. And well, 2 umpires coming together now for a discussion. I'm not sure what that can be about. Oh, perhaps they're just checking how many balls there are. I can't see there's anything else. We haven't got a fielding infringement. We've got 5 fielders on the leg side, 4 on the off. We haven't got 2 behind square. Ball's outside off stump, defended back to the bowler by the batsman, and no run. Sort of fiddled at that. Did he get something on it? As it went down to
Yes.
third. Yes, he did. So that brings up his 50. Nick Ebeck, 50 off 51. Feet can go back on the floor. Alex Towers got the ball at this end. He's crouching down. He's coming round the wicket to Nick at the start of the over. It's down leg side. and they think hard about taking two, decide not to.
One by.
It's just one by. And Prem on the strike. Manages to squeeze that somehow between Mark Oliphant and Dave Daniels on the leg side. Callum Weir comes in to field and a run's taken. So Quebec back on strike. On the stumps again, finds the gap, perhaps slightly squarer this time because it's Danfield who comes in off the boundary and fields the ball.
Never.
No ball to Prem. He's still round the wicket, leg side. Again, really just sort of scuffed backwards at square. It's Matt Greenhoff, the wicketkeeper, who goes out to field. Throws the ball back in. One run is taken. And so switching to coming over the wicket. It's yes, that's a long way outside Nick's off stump and wide given. He's nudged that even less distance, but Matt Greenhoff's still not quite able to sprint out fast enough and get the ball back because Prem was very keenly looking for that single. Very sharp running. And then he's given it a huge heave, not really connected, I think probably off the bottom edge of the bat. It's out towards Danfield, who comes in, fields, throws the ball in, and that's the end of the over. Score has reached 120. Eight off the over, but 7 against the bowler. Now bowl player is for 14. And we feel that Matthew Spence End has so far bowled his 2 overs just 5. He's in now. And Prem's defending into the leg side. Ball goes just past the 2 total fielders, Mark Oliphant and Dave Daniels, standing on that leg side. Danfield runs down and collects the ball himself, goes back to his mark, comes in, beats the batsman outside, off stump, nicely taken by the keeper. So 2 dots to start the over. That is swung up towards deep square leg. It's not travelled far enough to be catchable. It's just one run as Alex Towers comes in to field. Callum Weir at mid-wicket. Chris Bailey wide, mid-on. And this is into the offside, just out of reach of Marcus Kipling. They're thinking of taking 2. They're coming back for 2, and they are
2 for looming.
And it was a no ball as well. And that's a better hit, and slightly straighter. Boundary 4 through long off. What a way to celebrate having brought up the 100 partnership between these two. As the score.
One to me.
And one to Nick into Kanakim corner. And then defended back to the bowler for the last ball by Prem. 9 off the over. Expensive up and down, and 129 for 2 off 21. Next tails to continue. Nick gets it wide of mid-on. Callum Weir runs round well from mid-wicket to restrict that to a single. That's coming round the wicket to Prem. Strikes him on the leg. There is an appeal, but I think that was going down. There's no follow-up to the appeal. The ball's quickly back to the bowler. It's crouching down now just in front of the umpire. 2 paces, bowls. Hit back to him, bounces off him. It's gathered by Phil Daniels, but block just allowed them to get through for a single. So Metro have now. Yes, umpire has a look at that, and it's signalled as a wide. So Metro passed the 126 that they scored against Sussex last time these two played in this. Oh, that's hit over the bowler's head. It's coming down towards us. It's not quite going to reach the it has just reached the boundary. Fantastic effort, chased all the way by Marcus Kipling, gathered the ball, but couldn't quite stop it getting to the boundary. So 4 more to Nick. 2 balls left in the over. That's leg side, swung away, and very generously Danfield signals that as a 6, as it beats him to the boundary. So the first 6 of the day. We may well see plenty more from Dan when he's batting, and he has to go into the seats in the family stand, sponsored by Briggs and Forrester, to fetch the ball out. Gives us a moment or two to just gather our breath while the ball is now back with Alex Towers, the last ball of this innings. That's over, sorry. It's wide-ish outside off stump, but signalled as a no ball. So and that's outside off stump and put away through extra cover. Is that it? Yes, that is well stopped, short of the boundary, but foot on it. But the ball then spun away and reached the boundary for another 4. So 100 and
that was 4 to Nick, wasn't it?
Yes, 147 for 2 off 22. 18 off that over from Alex Towers. Well, he'd only conceded 14 in the previous 3. A batter's drinks break, I think, needed. Prem often needs his fluids, a bit of diabetes. Nick has been batting from the beginning of the innings. He's faced 62 deliveries. He's scored 74 runs. He was one of only 2 Metro players who managed to score very many in the cup final last year, when Metro only managed 164, chasing Northlands 187. So downfield, though, from that Hugh Spence end, and turns by Prem into the leg side, straight to Dave Daniels. Couldn't hang on for a catch. No ball outside off stump. Good connection from Prem through to mid off. So brings Nick on to strike. That has gone straight back over the bowler's head. Chris Bailey is after it, but it's going to beat him. Yes, over the ropes, down on Hugh Spence, end of the ground, straight back over the bowler by Nick. The 150 up for Metro. Outside off stump, hits straight back to the bowler. Just have to stand there, let the ball just bounce gently into his arms. He's able to step back, comes again now, bowls. fetched from outside off stump. Callum Weir is tearing after that, but he can't reach it at Cow Corner. It's another boundary to Nick. As Chris Bailey helps Callum fetch the ball in from the boundary. We've reached 157 for 2. Well, these bowlers who'd gone for 14s before being a little bit more expensive in these last couple of overs. That goes through though to Matt Rainoff for a welcome dot for Sussex. 10 off this over with 1 ball remaining. And Nick plays that in to short mid wicket. Danfield is across like lightning to grab hold of the ball, make sure there's not a run there. So it is 157 for 2 off 23. We've got 7 overs left. The batsman out there, Prem Sarathri's on 31 from 59. Nick Ebeck on 82 from 67. Alex Towers to continue. Alex and Danfield have got 2 overs left each. The opening bowlers have got 3 overs left each, so plenty of bowling options for the captain. If he wants to change, this ball is hit firmly out to him in his fielding position at square leg there in front of the rows of white seats in the family stand. Prem, it seems, quite happy to take singles and put Nick on strike. Nick certainly generally striking the ball more firmly. He's trying to split Chris Bailey and Callum Weir there. The ball is gathered in by Callum a couple of paces inside the boundary. Down below us on the left here, as Nick comfortably takes 2 from that shot down to sort of wide long on. Outside off stump. Sort of spooned up into the air. Simon Medwith couldn't get hold of it. It kind of runs out backward a point, reasonably long way. Matt Greenhoff fielded in the end, and they've taken 1. So Prem back on strike. He swings it back to the square, a bit more of a chase for Dan, but he's pretty quick and his arm is very strong. So although that ball's gone all the way to the boundary, it's just a single. Bringing Nick back on strike. And he hits this straight back at the bowler, who has a little shy at the stumps. Prem does get himself back in. Ball is backed up. And it's with the bowler, crouched down, stands himself up, comes in, bowls on off stump. The ball is pretty much straight to Chris Bailey at mid-on, but ball's setting off sharply. They can take a run. It's brought the score up to 163, 6 off that over. So good recovery from Alex Towers after the thumping he was given in his previous over. And Danfield to continue from the Hugh Spence end of the ground. We have 6 overs remaining. That's perhaps a little bit of a fielding mistake from Callum Weir. Might have been able to get something on that as it was swung away by Nick through cow corner. Tried perhaps to control it as a footballer, didn't go down and make a barrier. Ball beat him and then ran away over the ropes. He's now been asked to stand deeper. He was in a few yards, so field's on the leg side now, both deep for Nick. And that is, though, a catch. Yes. He's defended that down to silly point. That's just one bounce to Ian Morris, and a very good innings is over. He's scored exactly the top score of the highest scoring Metro batsman last year. He's gone for 90. Last year it was Damien Corrigan who got 90. This year it is Nick Ebeck who has got 90. He did take 8 more balls than Damien. Damien's 90 came off 65 balls with 10 fours as Mo Galib comes out to bat at 5 for Metro. Nick had 13 fours and 1 6 in his 90. So we do have a left-right combination now. The umpire's just coming and adjusting the fielding restriction marks. Again, the field is all deep on the leg side. I think people expecting that Mo, who's known for liking to have a swing, is likely to go leg side. He does just turn it into the leg side, just behind Ian Morris. And there's no run. Oh, another fielding mistake, and again, it's cost. That's it's must have been too long as well as wide, because it's
he signalled a wide first.
He signalled wide and then came for no ball. That's leg side, and Mo just gets that so fine on the leg side. There's kind of no way you're ever stopping that. It's run down easily to the boundary.
So what was that
in
previous
front of us
one? Wide
here.
on a no ball?
I think it was a no ball.
Okay.
And this time safely fielded by Callum wicket. It's 177 for 3.
Good innings. Oh,
So replacing Alex Towers in front of us, we have Phil Daniels, who is going to be bowling to Mo Gallib, who has kept the strike. Now we're just waiting. It's
how many did they run?
they have they've run 2 down there as it went past. So it's
Two balls.
2 byes. And that's bowled in.
Bowled him. I was given it as no ball.
Oh. Well, it would have bowled him. It's a no ball. Would you believe it? A life for Mo. Not really what you want to start handing out inside the last 5 overs. Can be very destructive, and he has no interest in that. Leaves it to go sailing past his off stump for a wide. Played that to mid on. There was a lot of appeals for BCEW, but umpires seemed to think that there was some bat on it. So Mo quickly into double figures, 10 off 8 deliveries. So Phil Daniels now to bowl to Prem. That didn't go very far at all to Simon Edworth at point. He didn't hit, and somehow they have made it home for a single. So Mo back on strike.
No ball.
Prem steers that to point. This time, knowing how good Simon is in the field, there is no run. So 2 balls left in the 26 over outside off stump, put away backward of point, and Prem is keen to kind of take 2. Mo was slightly less keen, but I think there always were 2 runs there. Oh, flicked off his legs, but straight to Dave Daniels, and that's a fantastic catch by Dave Daniels. I think it may have been even on the full, not even on the bounce. So a brilliant catch by Sussex Totally Blind player.
Port Daniels well down.
So Prem out for 36. The total is 187 for 4. 10 off that over, but 8 against the bowler. And this is Sam Hoskin coming out to bat at 6 for Metro, the second totally blind player. Has to bat at 6. And Danfield to bowl out to Mo. Mo has a great big Mo. It goes virtually nowhere, dribbles somehow past the 2 totally blind players on the leg side. Fielded by Matt Greenwood. No run. That's good ball. Defended by Mo. To mid-on. That's fielded by Marcus Kipling. And no run. It looked longish, but apparently it's fine. Again to Marcus Kipling. Again, no run. That's a great delivery, bounced just short behind Mo on the leg side through to Matt Raynall by run. So fantastic string of dots from Danfield. That's 4. Can he make it 5? Huge appeal, but no interest from the umpire. But here we are. We could be in for a maiden. We've waited 26 overs. No, because Mo is very aware of the fact that he wants to keep strike, and he just steers it into mid-wicket. Callum Weir collects the ball. It's just 1 off the over. Metro to 188. Danfield will be done. 6 overs, no maidens, 1 for 39. And, well, just the 1 over for Phil Daniels at this end in front of us. And we're back to Alex Towers to bowl to Mo. So 3 overs left. Metro 12 away from 200, 7 away from their total in 2008, which is the 7th highest Cup final score. Oh, on Mo's legs, or just behind Mo's legs. He took a great big swing at it, didn't get anywhere near, and nice easy take for Matt Greenhoff behind the stumps. And something has been found, has it, on the pitch? Don't feel that at square leg has discovered something. The umpire's running further and further towards the groundsman to hand in whatever it is they found away to our right. Handover is complete, and Roger Barker is jogging back into his position. So a little bit of a delay there as we wait for the second ball of the 28th over. He knows where he was standing because he's standing with Sam Hoskin, who is waiting to go in when Mo gives him a chance to strike the ball. Rory is out to run for Sam. Yes! And Mo's played that out to cover. The fielders are asking for fielders are asking for a referral. There's not one available, so it is one to Mo. He moves on to 13 from 17. His scoring rate slowed by that over from Dan with the 5 dots in it. And Sam Hoskin, who has started playing for Metro this season, so this will, I'm sure, be his first ball in the Cup against Sussex. Alex Towers to bowl it. Alex crouching down, standing up, outside off stump, thumps through into the covers. By Sam, scored, fielded by Phil Daniels. They've run 2, so that's 4 for Sam. And outside the line of off stump as people appeal for something or other off the bat, sort of down into the kind of slips region. That going off fields. There's no run. 2 overs and 2 balls left of the innings. Outside off stump, big swing and a miss. Through to the keeper, no run. So, last ball of Alex Towers' spell. Another big swing and a miss. No run. 5 off the over. 193. Alex Towers ending with 6 overs, none for 43. And
Phil Daniels back.
Phil Daniels back, but at the other end, the end, in fact, that he started from. So obviously the reason for the switch, just so that he gets 5 overs in, and it'll doubtless be Marcus Kipling to bowl the last over from this end, I would think.
Yeah.
So Phil Daniels from the Hugh Spence end of the ground, and Mo gets that away. He's looking for 2, and he scores 2 as Callum Weir fields out at point. This is well, what are they doing? They're running Well, that went to Durnfield and came in really quickly, so that must have been fantastic running from Rory to get in and give Mo 2 and not to run out. Sam Hoskin. I think there was bat on that as it. Oh,
Out, right out.
that went absolutely nowhere.
One scored.
They have scored one.
Yeah, that was one to Mo.
And who was the fielder? We'll check who the fielder was for that.
The score is 198. And Hoskin was run out. Run out for 4.
Run out for 4, yes.
Who got the run out?
Run out.
Who by? Who was the fielder who got the run out?
Get it to see.
Thank you. Green off. Wicket keeper. So Field is in now, isn't it?
Yes, Rory Field, the Metro captain, has come in. That was a little bit leg side of Mo. He didn't manage to connect with it though, so it's a dot. Outside off stump, miles up in the air. Who wants it? It bounces. Sween, Chris Bailey, and Callum Weir. Callum Weir catches it on the bounce. It's 1 to Mo Galib. That brings the Metro score to 199. And Rory Field on to face the last ball that Phil Daniels will bowl. It's outside off stump, down on one knee, huge swing and a miss through to Matt Greenham. So that is 199. That's the end of that over.
Kipling Mo in the last one.
And Marcus Kipling to bowl the last over. McGallip on strike, 18 off 21. So Marcus has bowled 3 overs for 14 so far. And, so this would be the 7th score over 200 in a cup final, assuming Metro can score at least 1 from this over. And with the 2 batsmen they've got out there, you would think that it's reasonably likely. This is on leg stump though. Mo can only send it straight back to the bowler, so that's a dot. Great start for Sussex in the final over. Side of stump, and wide of the fielder. Phil Daniels is chasing it down. He's stopped it just inside the rope down here at mid-off, but it's 2 to Mo and the 200 up for Metro. Kicked away to mid-wicket. Downfield in very quickly to restrict them to a single. Rory Field to face his first ball from this end, so just a brief pause as he sets himself up, takes guard on leg stump, scratches out his guard, and prepares himself. He's ready. Bowler comes in, outside off stump. Big swing and a miss, as they say in Somerset. Big swing, no ding, and we've just got 2 balls left. That was rather wide. Big swing, no ding.
Rory's run up.
And Rory has been run out by what's the bowler?
I was run out by Kipling, yeah.
And so Chris Blake does come to walk out to the middle. There's 1 ball left. He's at the non-striker's end. It's 202 for 6, with Marcus Kipling to bowl to Mo Galib to end the first innings, with a game that perhaps could be described as reasonably well balanced with this score. It's on middle stump. It's dug out by Mo. Goes to Phil Daniels at mid-off. He very sensibly just grabs the ball, runs in with it. So they do score 1, but just 1. That ends the over, ends the innings. Metro have scored 203 for 6. With Damien Corrigan 4, Nick Quebec 90, Andy Law 8, Prince Air 3, 36, Mo Galib not out 19, Sam Hoskin 4, Rory Field 4, Chris Blake not out 0, and Amit, Gareth and Alan walk out to the middle. And, Steve, I don't know if you're ready to do the bowlers yet.
Who are the last? Who are 19, 11? I mean, Jones.
Daniels, 5 overs, no maidens, 1 for 26.
Yep.
Marcus Kipling, 4 overs, no maidens, none for 18.
Yep.
With conceding just 1 for 36.
Yeah.
Ian Morris, 4 overs, no maidens, none for 36.
Yeah.
Alex Towers, 6 overs, no maidens, 1 for 39.
Yes.
I believe there were 38 extras in that total of 203. And I am going to end this live stream now. If you have been listening at all, if you are still listening, I will come back with the second innings after lunch. But I'm going to go down and get some lunch.
Can you give me the balls faced by the various batsmen?
I can give you the balls faced indeed.
Saves me doing it. I've got it. That saves me.
That's nice and easy. Nick Ebeck, 73 balls.
Yeah.
Andy Law, 18.
18. Yeah.
Prem